Dr. Liza, hola, y buenos tiempos para todos. So, you requested some information on how to make your own bow, DIY substitute for cello bow, violin bow, right? Possibly for use with your new idea, the leg fiddle, right? Um, so I'd be glad to provide that information for you. I think it's going to be helpful to you and could lead to some great things. So we should start with why I'm making bows in the first place. You know, what's my purpose for some kind of a substitute cello bow? Something that's way more durable, way more inexpensive, and easier to use. Why am I making bows? So, okay, we'll go to what got me into the notion of exploring as an adult whether I have any musical talent or not. Okay, this is what got me into it. When I saw this movie, which is my favorite movie of all time, Delicatessen, 1991, Genet et Carreau. It's a great movie, and I recommend you watch it. So we will check out. There's a scene where some music is being played, and so let's call that scene up. And it's a duet. So I'll just go ahead and play the scene and we'll watch. 1 second while I adjust this. And we'll take a look. This is what got me into music as an adult. Okay.
Une scie musicale.
Elle sonne bien.
Asseyez-vous.
J'en jouais dans un numéro avec le docteur
Le docteur?
Livingstone. Docteur Livingstone. C'était mon partenaire. Il a verrouillé maintenant qu'il est plus là.
Et où est-il?
Un soir, après le spectacle, il a disparu. On a retrouvé que ses restes. Il avait mangé. Vous vous rendez compte? Manger. Ce soir-là, j'ai tout perdu, alors la première petite annonce. Et voilà.
Monsieur Louison, il faut que je vous dise quelque chose.
Chut. Écoutez. Vous connaissez cette air? C'était son préféré.
So that was the musical Saw. On how to build a bow.
Okay, so I premised that video like more than a month ago, and I'm like procrastinating, and I just decided to make it very fast. So here's my bow. It's the bow that I use in every video almost. So basically, you know, I will just go through the part. The stick, it's a crossbow arrow. So basically, you know, you just buy crossbow arrow. And you remove the fin and the back part.
So that's a crossbow arrow.
At the top here, you have a little aluminum insert. Normally, you screw the point of the arrow. So what you do is that you take a bended nail and you just put that like this. At the other side, you take bended screw like this with a butterfly knot, and you just fit it like this. As simple like this, you know, no other part. So, and you can, if I take the other one, you can put tension or release tension just by moving the knot like this. So that's it, you know, you put the fishing line here, and you just make loop like this.
Okay, so that's Olivier Doucet showing us how to make a bow. And he's going with a crossbow arrow as his stick. Okay, some fishing line, a bent nail, a bent screw, and a wing nut. Put it all together and you got yourself a nice homemade bow. Alright, so the question is, what kind of fishing line and how much of it do we use, right? Well, let's take a look at his channel. And it turns out he answers those questions in the comments down here. He talks about making sure you don't get any fishing line with, there's like slippery surface on some of the better, more expensive line. Go with the cheaper line that doesn't have any of that, nothing slippery on it. And basically you want to go with 4 pound or 6 pound test. I went with 4 pounds, and he gives a figure here, a range of how many pounds total. So he says between 280 and 400. So if you have the 4 pound test like I use, which he says is like the closest diameter to a horsehair. Anyway, for 4 pound test to reach a number, I chose the higher part of the range. Well, I went with 400, and so I needed 100 strands of the fishing line, which meant, you know, 50 loops, right? Because each loop provides 2 strands, one up, one down, 50 times. And that's how I made mine. Okay, so let's see what Mr. Doucet can do with his homemade bow, playing the saw. He's got an unusual style, you'll see, and he's quite entertaining. So let's take a look at Mr. Doucet on the saw. He's got a nice channel here, over 100 videos, most of them short performances. Either on stage or in his home, and he's got a great little channel. He's also got a Facebook channel of the same name, Musical Saw Men, and he's been inactive on both accounts for 5-6 years, so I'm glad he left us some good content. Anyway, let's check him out. Okay, so that was excellent. He's got many more videos on his channel you can check out. Great player. I don't know if that technique that he's using with the holding the handle by his feet and just grabbing that end of the saw with a glove on, and then I don't know if that's going to work for everyone. It certainly does for him. Let's check out another very famous saw player. If you start looking up musical saw, you're going to come across the Saw Lady. So let's just check her out. She's also a very good player, and let's see what she's got to offer. This is how most people will be playing that type of saw. Put a wooden thing on the end. It's called a cheat, and it helps you bend the saw, all kinds of crazy little contortions to make all kinds of different sounds. So let's listen to the Saw Lady. Very nice. So that's Saw Lady. The name of her YouTube channel, sawlady.com website. She's very good. So we'll wrap it up now with my favorite song that uses a saw. It's a duet called St. James Infirmary Blues, Saw and Banjo. And check this one out. We'll wrap up the video after this, but you gotta hear this one.
gonna sing me a song. I want a jazz band on my horse wagon, gonna raise hell as we roll on. Won't you roll out your rubber tire wagon? Won't you roll out your rubber tire rag? 13 men going down to that graveyard, only 12 of them men coming back. Now that you've heard my story, have yourself a shot of the booze. And if anybody should ask, I got the St. James Infirmary blues.
Oh, what a song. That's really my favorite. Okay, so you can see how it's also called the singing saw. She's really making that thing sing. And probably reminds you of, you know, opera voice, really. It's so beautiful. So, okay, Dr. Liza. So, we could finally shut this one down. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. You're probably thinking, yeah, okay, 20-minute video. I got 3 minutes of instruction on how to build a bow. I know I went a little overboard on the saw content. I just felt like I needed to show you some saw players. Oh, maybe you already have been exposed. Maybe you have no interest. Or maybe, as I said earlier, you're destined to become Saw Empress. Okay, so I look forward to more of your content. And please let me know if you have any questions about the bow or about saws. Keep in mind, those saws that we watched, those 3 performers used, were all longer 30-inch blade saws, which are not that easy to find for a reasonable price. I play with a hardware store saw similar to this one. This one doesn't actually play very well. But this kind of shape, and there's certain things to look for with number of teeth and the blade and all that, which I can get into at another time if you like. So anyway, that's going to be it. And I will hopefully talk to you again soon, or at least see you again soon on the YouTubes. All right. Chaito, Dr. Liza.